Well, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Curtain. My name is Chelsea Sutton, and this conversation is brought to you by Markel Insurance. I am so excited to be sitting down with Callie Boevers, the Director of Communications and Media at the NRCHA, the National Rein Cow Horse Association. You have quite the professional background. You've been a part of this industry for a very long time. You grew up in this industry. Give us a brief highlight of what brought you to your role now and what it really means to have the NRCHA and the cow horse sport here a part of the Run for a Million.
Well, I've been involved in the horse industry my entire life. I always joked around with my dad that I wanted to make sure that I could figure out how to get paid to go to horse shows. And I knew I wasn't wanting to be a trainer, but I just love the industry so much. And so when the job came open at NRCHA, it was really like coming home for me.
One of the articles that I read about you mentioned that your first snaffle bit futurity was when you were 5 months old?
Yes. Yep. My mom has gone to all of the snaffle bit futurities. She has an amazing t-shirt collection of every single futurity she's ever gone to. So I was born in May, snaffle bit futurity season got there September, October, and I was at my first finals before I was even a year old. And it's been one of the things that I've shared with my mom over the years. And so it's always been a near and dear thing to my heart.
I really think that cow horses have something unique because they're known as sort of the triathlete of the sport. There's herd work, there's rein work, there is fence work. You have seen multiple aspects of this industry. You've been around the cutters, you've been around the reiners, you know what those sports take. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what's special about the cow horse, and for someone that maybe hasn't watched those sports side by side, and if they're viewing this event for the first time or thinking about coming next year, what can they keep their eye on in the cow horse competitions?
The cow is the ultimate, equalizer in the sport. So it's a very humbling sport. And I think that's the fun part of, especially from my side of being able to talk to our athletes and market our athletes, is you never know what's going to happen when it comes down to the fence work. So you've always got your fan favorites, but there's so many underdog stories that come out because of an incredible fence run. And I think that's what really separates it out, because you've got to be amazing at all three. And that's what's I've seen the most change and grow over the years. Is before you could be really strong in one event and keep the momentum going to make it to the finals. And now our horses and our athletes are so incredible and they're so talented that you really have to be spectacular at all three events. And that fence work is just the most thrilling thing to watch.
It absolutely is. I got my opportunity to announce one of your events a few years ago, and I thought I knew excitement coming from reining, and I was holding my breath for everyone. You're cheering for every exhibitor as they come down the fence. And it's a really unique aspect because for someone who didn't come from the rein cow horse industry, when I thought about the involvement of the cow in competition, my brain went to rodeo. Mm-hmm. And while there obviously are some overlaps, it is very different. And the relationship of what that horse and rider are doing with that cow and how they're managing it and maneuvering it in the arena in order to obviously get a score and win the competition is so dynamic and so exciting. But it also ties back to where the sport comes from and what was done on the ranch. Tell us a little bit about that.
The NRCHA is based on the vaquero traditions of horsemanship. And I think that's one of the things that we've held so near and dear to our hearts is the traditions and the values of that horsemanship. And the progression of our horses and making sure that they can go from a snaffle bit as a 3-year-old all the way up to the bridle horses that you see here at the Run for a Million. And these horses are, anywhere from 8 to 12 years old, and they're still competing at the highest level. And I think that talks a lot to the horsemanship of our competitors that are out there competing and, kind of the progression of our sport and how that has evolved over the years, for sure.
You guys have a booth here at Run for a Million, and I appreciate that so much because we get a lot of people who come to the event and buy tickets that might be horse interested, they might be horse curious, they maybe rode as a kid, but the detail and depth of competition, becoming a member, competing at an association level might be new to them. They can come by your booth and talk to you guys. Tell me a little bit about the type of people that come by and what those conversations are like.
Well, I think that's the one thing that we've loved so much about being a part of Run for a Million is it's exposed our brand of NRCHA and the sport of rein cow horse to so many people that we wouldn't normally get in front of. We have a ton of people that come by and they've seen clips on Yellowstone or they've seen clips here at the Run for a Million or just on social media, and they're so hungry for more information and wanting to learn and how to be involved. And so I think that's the best thing about having a booth here, is that we've gotten to have that exposure. And, we've gotten to meet so many new fans. We do great giveaways to get people involved and get people to come to some of our events, which is amazing. And we couldn't do it without the reach that Run for Million's given us, for sure.
You guys have a really cool program, if you will, called the Back Gate Pass, correct? Tell me what that is and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so our Back Gate Pass is one of the ways that we developed it. Is we wanted to figure out a way for people to get involved with Rein Cow Horse that maybe is not ready to go down the fence yet, and maybe not ready to go into the show pen, but they love the sport, they love our athletes, and they want to stay involved. And so our Back Gate Pass really is a fan membership, and it allows people to stay involved with the industry throughout the year. So they get our magazine, they get updates from us, they get early ticket sales so they can bring their families out. And I think it's a really great way, because the cow horse is extremely hard. It's not for everybody, but every single person that watches it absolutely falls in love with it. And we want to make sure that there's still a home for them at NRCHA.
With fewer people being exposed to horses and livestock at an early age, you guys also, I believe, are innovating forward in terms of making it easy and accessible for new exhibitors to come in and become a part of the association and compete without a super high expense. Tell us about the free ride program.
So we offer a free membership to everybody that for their first year with NRCHA. We want you to come try it, come experience our trainers, come experience our shows, and understand the lifestyle that we all love and fall in love with it for yourself. I think that's one of the big things, and it's worked really great with our partnership with High School Rodeo, with the Rein Cow Horse with them, because it gives those kids an opportunity to be able to come try something in the Rein Cow Horse that maybe it isn't High School Rodeo, it's a local chapter, it's a local event, and it really gives them an ability to put their foot forward and try the event at a different level, for sure.
As I talked to you a little bit beforehand, I'm also hearing that at the NRCHA, you guys are seeing some reiners start to cross over. Tell me a little bit about some of the studs that you're seeing have success in the cow horse, and you've got a new program coming out in 2025. Tell us about that.
I think one of the things that we really wanted to do at the NRCHA is we really wanted our payouts at our events to represent the level of athletes that we have competing. And it takes a village to get those horses into the pen, and it starts long before the horse ever gets to the trainer. It starts with the breeders, and it starts with the stallion owners. And that was the big goal with the incentive program. So the Cow Horse Incentive Program is kind of a revitalized stallion subscription program that's going to launch in 2025. And this event is going to have kind of 3 different ways that you can earn a check at the Stallion Stakes. So of course, we'll be paying all of our finalists, which is going to be great. We're very anticipating some great payouts for them. But now we're going to be paying every single sire that has an offspring in the finals, as well as the nominators. So those breeders and those, owners that believed in that horse at a very, very young age is now going to be able to follow that horse throughout the career. And so I think one of the big things with NRCHA is because we have to do 3 different events, we can kind of pull sires from different events that way. So we've always had really strong ties to the cutting industry. And now we're seeing a lot more reiners come over and have some offspring having a lot of success. I know Shiner's Voodoo Doctor and NRCHA are the 2 that always come to mind when they've got some great horses this past year. And so I think it's going to be really exciting to see how all of the industries start collaborating on these horses.
If someone's new to the cow horse industry and is getting started, maybe they've just bought their first horse or they're first starting to ride, what are a few tips that you would give them?
Finding whoever your village is that's going to support you. So, whether that's a great trainer, whether that's a great show, an affiliate program that's nearby, I think that's one of the biggest things to help you grow. The NRCHA, if you go on to NRCHA website, we've got a trainers directory, we've got an affiliate directory, we've got lots of resources to get you ready and to get in that show pen. And then we just can't wait to see you rise to the top.
Well, thank you so much again, Callie Boevers here with the National Rein Cow Horse Association. Such an honor to sit with you and hear a little bit about what's going on in the cow horse industry. Tune in for another episode soon of Behind the Curtain, brought to you by Markel.